Muppet Animal Hat confirmed.
Oh, is it time? Did I get it right? I think I did. Maybe? Let's give it a shot. There's a button here. This one, right? That'll get us started? Yes? Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is March 12th, 2026. and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? How you doing? I've got a new hat. It is not a Muppet. Not a Muppet. Let me bring on the chat room and we'll talk a little bit more. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn people. You can reply to this message if you're on LinkedIn, and I believe your message will show up over here, reshared by the Restream bot. So, boy, where was I? Oh yeah. So we're gonna write a little bit of code today. Last night was one of those opportunities. Oh man, let me tell you, as you get older and the kids move out of the house, it happens less and less frequently. I was able to take my daughter on a daddy-daughter date night. She got offered discount tickets to a Philadelphia Flyers game through her college. We took them up on it. Of course, they were the worst seats in the house. They were the worst seats. They were in the corner, like third row from the top of the arena. It was fine. We had a great time. And of course, you can't go to a Flyers game without seeing. I think he's become just a ball of chaos that everybody knows about now. The mascot for the Flyers, his name is Gritty. He is a orange, long-haired. He's not a Muppet. But the emote is there for those of you that are subscribers on Twitch, you have the emote that is available to you, C# Gritty. And I had to get I've got all kinds of Flyers hats that have the team logo on it, but I had to get a hat with Gritty on it, and it's even got his signature over here on the side. Right way back there. Back there. There we go. So, he is not a Muppet, Graham. No, not a Muppet. Pixel T. See, Pixel T's got it right there. See that? So, Beeper? Not Beeper. Who's Beeper? The 10X cap? Yeah. Where did I do with that one? It's gotten shuffled into the box here. But that's a hat that I do enjoy wearing when I want to make the point that we're going to make you a 10X developers. Let me get some music playing in the background here, and we'll talk about the projects we're going to work on today, because now that we have Squad, we can work on multiple projects.
Graham Weldon just gifted 5 subs.
5 gift subs into the channel. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Congratulations to Liku, Ed Nivoxo, Arson Music Official, Thunder 4991, and Wes McDonald 10. Congratulations, you just got gift subscriptions from our friend Graham Weldon. Thank you so much for the sub. 30 stream streak for Mythin. Wow, check that out. That's very cool. Let me get the music playing, and I'll touch on the map and some of the other things here. Where did I go? Let me start down here. This sounds good. Start it Back to the Flash. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. It's the Stream Beats. You can find it at streambeats.com. There's a bunch of genres out there. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's move on. Thank you so much for the gift subs, Graham. That is fantastic. I really appreciate that support. It helps us with some of the things that we're doing on stream. I'm building out, and some of you have discovered there's things going on in the background of the stream. Our friend Bald Bearded Builder started picking up on some of it yesterday on his stream, there's all kinds of fun things that are going on, including the map. Of course, everybody that shares their location says, "Hey, I'm watching from." We'll drop a pin on that map right there to show, and you can be as accurate or as inaccurate as you'd like. It only plots the locations that folks mention. So, your cat is dying. Oh no. Oh, Graham, I'm so sorry to hear that. All the best to you. This is definitely a hard time when stuff like that happens, right? Our 4-legged family members. This is this is always a tough time when that happens. It's an inevitable time. None of us look forward to it, but it's unfortunately one of those things. So all the best to you and your family as you go through that. Grego hasn't been to the Flyers Stadium in a long time. It was Wells Fargo Center last time I was there. Last night it was Xfinity Mobile Arena. So they just call it XMA now. And I'm like, what? Like, we can't even shorten that to anything. Like, you gonna go see a game tonight? Yeah, I've got tickets to go down to the XMA. Like, what is that? Like in Vegas, I'm gonna go down to T-Mobile Arena. Yeah, okay. I have not seen War Machine yet. I've seen clips of it, and I'm very interested. How do you add a pin to the map? So, Graham, just share a statement or something that says something like, I'm watching from and a location. It doesn't have to be your specific location. No, Billy. It plotted map. I don't know where map is. But there, DGen 1. Is that really where you're watching from? From Middelfart, Denmark? I'm going to try not to pronounce that as Middelfart. And as they get mentioned, you'll see them pop up on the map. And, yes. There you go, DGen 1. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Mom's here. Look at that, Mom's here. Did it use the special Mom logo? No, it didn't. How you doing, Mom? Yes, I got my gritty hat last night. There we go. We got a pin for Graham right there. Fantastic. I'm doing well, Mythin. Thanks so much. It was a lot of fun last night to take it was literally a spur of the moment thing. She was offered tickets Tuesday, and it was literally like, hey, here's an opportunity for tickets. Would you like to go? And she's like, Dad, we can go. It's $20 a ticket. And I'm like, how good are these seats? And she showed me where they were, and I'm like, okay. They haven't been able to sell out that building for a while. And, yeah, that's fine. We went and had a good time. The interesting thing, though, is this was the second daddy-daughter date night at the Flyers that we had done. In the last time was maybe two years ago. We went, and they played the Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks, right? So here, the team from LA came out. Have a great one, Graham. Thank you so much. All the best to you and your family and your cat there. That is definitely a difficult time. Thank you for staying up and chiming in, and yeah, all the best to you. That is not going to be easy. So 2 years ago, when we went to a game and we saw the Flyers play the Ducks, and they won, and I forget who it was, had a hat trick. Like, you don't see a hat trick frequently. You don't see a hat trick that often at all. That was the first hat trick that I had seen in person, to be frank. There we go. Look at that. We got Chris Funk chiming in on the map there. Hello. And last night they were playing the Washington Capitals, and it's probably Alex Ovechkin's last time around the league. Hints that he might retire. And here's the greatest goal scorer. I got to see Gretzky play once, and just amazing to watch him play, and then to see Ovechkin play at this. He's not like he's not the jet that he was. He just skates down the side and parks by the net and just kind of wanders back and forth and waits for the puck to be passed to him. Like, he isn't doing as much as he was. He isn't the threat, but when he gets past the puck, it's a rifle coming off of his stick. So it was a lot of fun, and of course the Flyers won. So my daughter Chrissy is 2-0 at Flyers games with Dad. So, all right, that was fun. So had a good time with that. So yeah, the map is filling out. We've got 12 folks on the map so far today. That record for this week isn't right because that says February 17th. So I might need to do some tweaking on the record counting there. It does have numbers from the previous days so that it can keep track of where the high points are, but that record for the last 7 days isn't right. We're going to need to fix that. And I need to fix the detection so that Mom gets her correct icon there. How's it going, Mom? Good to talk to you. Hello. Oh no, I have not. Oh, here she comes. Yeah, so when we Phil with the resub.
Phil Vesey just resubscribed for 57 months.
Thank you so much for that resub. A couple things going on here. Really appreciate it, Phil. 57 months. Thank you for that support. And how you doing there? Jan's in Belgium. I saw the pin pop up there. So when I was a kid, when I played in high school, I played hockey so much in middle school and high school, and I saved up my money working and at the local fast food place, at the local McDonald's, and I went and bought myself hockey gear and ice hockey gear and tried out and played for the high school team, and it was tremendous. I had so much fun. So
Fragment 2 of 4.
what?
Golf. Lima. Alpha.
Oh no, we can't see the
Sierra.
text. Oh,
Sierra.
no.
Yes. Sequence confirmed. No. I will not combine segments.
There's
That is not within my directive. Proceeding.
okay. Charlie's text didn't present properly. Oh no. So we didn't. He said that same thing the other day too. Right? Golf Lima Alpha Sierra, something like that. There's a recording on YouTube. There's something to that. So, there we go. Philly, how you doing there? Is it Kushik? We got a pin in India for you. Oh, Chuck. Phil's in Doncaster. More of our UK friends filling out the map. And Smirking Squiggly dropping a pin in the Netherlands. St. Louis, Rodney, how you doing? Yeah, look, we got a purple hat over there. Oh my gosh, Graham with 10 more
Graham
gift subs.
Weldon just
Graham!
gifted 10 subs.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. 10 more gift subs into the channel. Thank you. Big congratulations to Tribucket. Is it Arden, RD Enrique, Ro Rustin, Unruly Hot Fixer, Simon 9238, Tolas, Fonzie A1, SP Tremblay. Congratulations. You got gift subs. Lead Geek and is it Dental Dam? Congratulations. Wrong button. Wrong button? Okay. Well, thank you so much. So there's gosh, now I'm just wow, I'm a little off, and there's a what's it called going on? No refunds. Look at there's the glitching again. I don't know. I don't get it. What's going on? Have I tried the autopilot preview in VS Code? I haven't tried it in VS Code. We're already at a level 3 hype train. My goodness. My hat collection is growing. Yes, it is. It is always growing, and I'm trying to make sure that I grow it responsibly. When I go and experience things where it makes sense to say yes, let's go and add a new hat appropriately. So, how many hats now in the collection? I need to count. I don't know. Let me see. So I haven't tried the autopilot yet. No. Let me see here. Mythin went to Future Tech 2026 yesterday. You got to see 2 sessions with our friend Maddie. Yes, the Maddie Montequilla. Let me see here. A bit surprised how much of Aspire was shown yesterday during several sessions. And your colleagues are skeptical about it. What's there to be skeptical about? So Aspire is a fantastic way to orchestrate and manage your application system. And the Aspire folks, I don't know if they like the way that I refer to it as a system, because it's not just an application and it's not just a database, right? When we're building things, you've got multiple resources that you need to stitch together, and then you want all the logging and the resiliency and those things so that when you deploy, it works better, right? And you have that insight into what's going on with it. So Aspire is fantastic for all of these things. And it sets it up automagically. So Aspire now has first-class support for TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, Java, including .NET in the box. So that's why they renamed it away from .NET Aspire to just Aspire. So we've been showing and using Aspire here live on the stream. And Mythin, I'd love to hear more about why they're skeptical about it. Most of the skeptics, look, man, we're on the same path here. Skepticism is coming from not using containers or not being able to use containers at customers. Why not? Yeah, look at that. See, it knows the hat, and it's not animal. It thinks it's animal, but I need to kind of seed some of the information about it, because it doesn't know who Gritty is, and that these are like embroidered patches that are sticking out. They're not actually sewn into the hat. So, and I do have the last 2 hats coming, and then we're going to be mailing those out. So that's all coming together and shipping out in the next few days. Very excited about that. So we talked about the map. There's some things there was another one of these cryptic messages from Charlie here. Right, and it is showing the text now there, right? So if we do one of the quotes, it'll show up. And I always love the Gladys quotes.
Congratulations, Fritz. Your code is performing exactly as my worst case scenario models predicted. There will be cake eventually.
Okay, good. Cake. We like cake. So hey, Sharer. There we go. Another
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
You're not going to jeopardize it, nor am I. Big congratulations to our friend Sharer out there. I'll let you decide how much you want to share and what, but big congratulations to Sharer. So there was a cake mission. Yes, there's a cake mission going on. And why did it plot cake mission? Is that a thing? Like, that's not a thing. Like, come on now. That's just wrong. No, get that out of there. All right. Moving on. Yeah, Sharer's got a gig starting. Big the 6th. Okay. All right. We'll work with that. But big congratulations to Sharer. Getting a new gig. Congratulations. Yes, Graham is on the map. You have to go around the right way. For some reason, it only plots it. Like, maybe this is something we need to figure out, but it's left to right. So, yep, Graham got plotted on the map right over there. Now, I told it to remove that one. And it still left it out there. I clicked the remove button over here, and it... Yeah, it's removed over here on my local one. But it's still showing the wrong location. And then, right now we got 4 folks from the UK. Man, our friends in the UK always fill out really well. Paperwork and clearances, nice. Lanky Scottish Nerd, good to see you. So there's a bit of chatter in that Signal channel on Discord about some of the things that Charlie's been saying and doing. And there's something with the map. I don't see it here, but yeah. Squiggly also doesn't appear in the Netherlands. Did we miss that? Yeah. We can do that one. Smirking. Disappointment Island, New Zealand. Who did that? Netherlands. Right. There we go. Oh, I see what you did here. So Surly Dev goes over to YouTube so he can plot a hat way down here at the bottom. Way south. On LinkedIn, how you doing there? Oh, you know what? It's not reading LinkedIn. It's not... The chatbot doesn't read LinkedIn. Interesting. Update Charlie to get LinkedIn. You're not wrong. I don't want to spend time on Charlie for adding LinkedIn today because I started doing that with TagZap, and oh my, is that not trivial. Hooking up to LinkedIn is not trivial, but and then it took me a while to work on. So let's add LinkedIn to Charlie. Yeah, we'll get that dialed in. How you doing there, Jeremy? Good to see you. So I was just mentioning, there it goes. I was just mentioning that there are some folks over on Discord that they've been talking about the weird things that Charlie was doing something with the NATO alphabet, and there's something with the map. I don't know. Not from Taipei. Well, guess what? You said not from Taipei. It picked that location up first. So we got Taipei. You said it. Like, what did you expect? No, it's not a great API, Sherer. Not only is it not a great API, but it also, the steps to go through to get a key are just awful. There's a green line coming from Cardiff towards America. I don't see it. Hey, Sean in Daytona Beach. There we go, right there. Have I had Charlie start to take over? Yes. That's exactly what's going on. I've heard from some folks who are using Squad to act a bit more like OpenClaw and automate other things that they do in their life. And I look at that and go, what would I do? Like, what things would it automate? And that feels weird. Hey, oh, let's see. Shever just went over to YouTube also to place a second pin in Las Vegas. Look at that right there. Am I moving away from MCP because Copilot and Claude know how to call APIs? So do they know how to call APIs? I know they know how to run command line tools. And MCP was the definition of command line tools. So, like, MCP was just giving a definition around some of those things. We're going to get into that today. Copilot call API. Well, no, wait, no, I do know it knows how to do this. And it doesn't call it directly. It Copilot wakes up and fires a it'll run curl and interact with it directly. So just automate my banking. So let's talk about that. That one, where'd it go? This one right here. Like, what if we told Squad to look at the financial markets, point it at a cluster of stocks, and told it, I've got some funny money for you. What would you do as far as trades and things, and let it day trade for a day, and starting with a mythical $100, see what it ends up with at the end of the day, at the end of the week. Like, right? Why not? There's a green dashed line. You can see it in the top left of my screen just now. Coming from the bottom left of the UK to the Netherlands. Something there. Is that a thing? What happens when you mouse? Really? Is that a thing? What happens if you mouse over it? Is there something there? Coming out of did I hear you say Cardiff? I don't know. Automation is a matter of trust. Well, yes. Calgary on the map now. Hello. You hover over it and it goes solid. How you doing, Ocular Malice? Hello. Can you move it? Can you move this green line? Is there something there? Or, right? Can't seem to move it, but boy, you're trying. Maybe, right? Like, if it started near, right, like, right, those sunglasses that we saw over the last few weeks, they were appearing on the map in that location, and they started in the UK. No, Ocular Malice. Lanky Scottish Nerd is seeing something on the map. That map, right? That now shows a little purple hat in Calgary for our friend Ocular Malice there. What happens if you try and move that thing, or you click on it or something? And I'm going to let Lanky Scottish Nerd explore that. And those of you out there, and Jeremy, you might have some insight on this also. Take a look at that. Drinking too much and seeing things? No. there's definitely I'm seeing it's very faint on the map. You have to zoom in a little bit, but you can see there's a line there. Scherer's smiling. I think Scherer knows what's going on here. McNets with the resub.
McNets just resubscribed for 29 months. Why is that hat staring at me?
That's not creepy. You're not seeing any lines? You might. It's between between Newfoundland and Cardiff, particularly.
Animal hat confirmed.
It's not animal. This is not a damn Muppet. It's gritty. Oh, look at this. Patty Boy sees something. It starts at a football pitch. So I think the football pitch you might be. It's not animal. It's gritty. The football pitch that I would be referring to, if I were to refer to a Welsh football pitch, would be the racecourse ground in dear old Wrexham. Someone's plotting the route for the Titanic. No. They didn't depart from Cardiff.
You know, at McNets I was promised there would be cake if I helped humans learn to code. The cake was a lie. So is your coding ability.
Charlie watches and clearly is reading text from chat. That was one of the first features that I built, of course, so that it can read and put entries on the map. And then I added the quote features. And then I added, I told Copilot, give Charlie a way to have a little bit of sass around this and have different things that he can say back. And let's take some things from some different characters in pop culture and add those inspired quotes into the Charlie bit.
Sir, I'm programmed to be supportive.
Oh, good.
However,
See?
my diplomatic subroutines are being severely tested.
That's this. It added to itself the ability to troll you. Gritty is not an animal. No. Am I sure it's the hat Charlie's detecting? Hey. Part of the map, not my coat. Yeah. Oh, you can draw a line? There's a line you can draw on the map? That's not a thing. That doesn't come with the thing. Almost like it's a flight or shipping route or even a longitude
It's
line.
against my programming to impersonate a deity, but I'm beginning to understand why ancient civilizations had gods of chaos. They must have been programmers.
Gritty's a god of chaos, okay? Smirking Squiggly here with a question about Windows future direction. Do I have any thoughts? I have no relationship with the Windows team at all. I don't work on product. I'm in developer advocacy. I know what you do. There's this glitching sound effect again. Oh, and it's McNets. Yeah, see, the glitching is controlled by you. That's something that you can control. So that's not me. But questions about Windows future direction. So I don't have any insight. I don't have any direct line to anything that's going on there. So strictly my thoughts, my feelings on it. I'm glad to see that they're bringing back some of the features that made Windows so flexible and usable for many folks. I'm glad to see that they're getting pressure from Linux, from Mac operating systems that are causing them to get innovative with Windows again for power users and not just make things really easy for the for the average non-technical person. I'm glad to see those things. I don't like it when they start putting advertising into it. Folks on my teams have been vocal about that. When you start adding advertising promoting, hey, you should go buy a subscription and get OneDrive and blah, blah, blah. No, come on. You don't need to do that. Come on. You're a $3 trillion company. You don't need to do that. You make fans by not getting in their face and telling them, hey, would you like something else? Would you like fries with that? Don't do that. You make fans by being supportive of your customers. You make fans, you make loyal customers, you make people love your product by giving them the features they want, supporting them when they have questions, needs, and challenges, giving them the capabilities that are going to make them more productive, make them have more fun with their computer. And I think some of the leadership of the Windows team in previous years, previous administrations, I think that's we'll go with previous administrations, have lost sight of that. We got to make Windows fun and easy for everybody to use, not just the non-technical folks. Stop moving junk around on the control panel because, hey, this is what folks in operating system X does. Folks on the phone like things organized this way. Shut up. You're just making it harder for for your existing group of folks that already love your product to go and find and continue to use your product because you move the deck chairs around on the Titanic. Stop it. You don't need to do that. Some of those things, sure, they might make sense, but did they add value? Spend your time doing something that adds value, that makes your customers, new and existing, happier, right? So that's where that's where I kind of get stuck, and something that some of my colleagues don't entirely agree with. I come from a background of consulting, right? I was a software consultant when I first graduated college, which made sense. Y2K, like, we did well with software consulting. I am a very customer service, customer support first developer. If I can give you, and I've seen this at the .coms that I was lead developer at and architect at, if I can give you excellent customer service, it doesn't matter if there's bugs or the quality of the software doesn't quite meet your needs. If I can give you the customer service and customer support that fills in those gaps while we're getting the software to that feature that you need to fix a bug that might be in there, it smooths over those expectations and those interactions. At the last .com that I worked at before I started working as a developer advocate, there was a guy that was they literally made him a director of customer service, and his name was Larry. And Larry literally was such an outgoing, extroverted, genuinely nice person that would talk to the customers and could smooth over anything. Larry was the secret sauce of that company, because while there were features that we didn't have for some of those customers, Larry could get on the phone and talk it over and help that customer find a way to continue doing business with the existing features that we had, while what they needed was still coming online, was still getting developed. And Larry literally saved that company millions, tens of millions of dollars, because customers didn't go somewhere else. Customers didn't turn around and say, we're not paying for the service this month because X. That personal connection, that white glove handling for the top of the line customers, literally made that company. There are folks in tech today who, quite frankly, don't give a damn about existing customers, and they only care about selling to new customers. Oh my gosh, we've got new feature XYZ. We've got the new Claude super duper whiz bang bot that's gonna save the world. Let's go make sure that everybody sells and promotes the new Claude whiz bang bot. Hey, Ergenrod.
Ergenrod just resubscribed for 35 months.
In staying focused in doing that, those folks lose the support and the capability to work with the previous customers. And the previous customers are going to look at it and say, wait, you're not helping me with my current investment on Foo, and instead you're telling me I need to go buy the Claude Whizbang bot. Well, if I go buy that, are you going to continue to support me like you're not supporting me for Foo? And that's the problem that I'm seeing so many folks in technology running into. Oh my gosh, I need to go use the new thing, and they're not getting support for the stuff that they're already paying for and using. So they're trying to make a buy decision about the next thing, but they're not getting support for the current thing. So they look at the next thing and say, well, do I really want to buy it when I can't get support? I can't get help with this. That makes me angry. That disappoints me. That makes me angry. And there's a way to fix that. And I want people to fix that. And that's why, that's one of the reasons why I so much enjoy doing live streams with you, talking about what's going on and learning about what's new and going back and doing things with what's old. So it's almost like a flight or shipping route. Any thought? So we talked about Windows. Scherer loves seeing people slowly figure out this part. Figure out what? What map system am I using? This is Leaflet.js that's on the map. You like the concept of the widgets, but it's utterly useless from the execution. See? The new start menu is worse than Windows 8. I have a problem with it. It's supposed to be dark mode, but it's light mode for me, and I can't see anything. Like I show you a thing here, right? When I show you stuff like the map, and I click my Windows button, and I can't see a thing. Like, what did you do here? So, weather report for next week in Vegas. Oh, what's the story next week in Vegas? Do tell. So I will be going to Vegas next week. I leave Sunday for Las Vegas. I do have Las Vegas on my list of weather locations here. Look at that. It's going to be in the 80s. Fahrenheit, that is. So Tuesday, I have time during the day. I was going to look at spending some time in the morning, early afternoon by the pool. Lanky Scottish Nerd with the resub. Thank you so much. It's a map element. Yeah? That's right. I'm onto something. No, the source code is not available. You need to know what this is and fix it. Does it need to be fixed? Your system is booting so fast now with Linux in comparison. That's great. You've seen I've got Linux machines here also, and they're fine. Perceived personal connections do go a long way. Yep. Thank you so much again, Ergenrod, while I was in the middle of my diatribe there. Today's new customer, or tomorrow's old customer, is tomorrow's old customer. Yes. Nalian with the Austin, Texas pin down there. There you go. Live Tiles was great. I agree with you, Ionescu. I was a big fan at Windows 98 had the desktop widgets that you could make web pages and just embed it on the desktop as the background and just have pieces of web pages as a background. I made a bunch of those, and that was really cool. Next week in the 90s, it's going to be very nice. I'm looking forward to that. So, Ocular Malice, I think you're thinking too hard about this. Regara, hello, thank you for the follow. There's some chatter about it going on in Discord. Good morning, CL. Hello. Yeah. There's yeah, there's some discussion going on in Discord. There was a link to a website that summarizes some of the weird things Charlie's been saying. I have a feeling that a couple of those things you can put together and you might find something. But yeah, I definitely see a green line there now. I wonder what that is. And right, and there's definitely something there, and you were saying you can click on it or something. Oh, look. And yeah, I can draw pictures or something. I don't know. Charlie's there's been things that Charlie the chatbot has just autonomously been doing, like dropping in with various messages. There's been glitching here on stream. I don't know what all of it is, and now we're seeing this thing. And we saw last month we saw those sunglass icons that were appearing. Maybe it all adds up to something. I don't know. You don't think this is Charlie?
The universe is big.
The universe
It's
is
vast
big.
and complicated and ridiculous.
It is.
And your code is all of those things except big.
Eric, thank you so much.
Eric Bernard still in just resubscribed for 33 months. What is this gritty squad you speak of?
It's
Smile.
There you go. Thank you so much, Eric. Good to see you. Yeah, Pixel T. Because I set the location for Smirking Squiggly. Because I set it, it uses my pin there. That's a logical bug that we need to address. But no, Ocular Malice. Dear Lord, please go check the Discord. There's some fourth wall things happening here, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Virginia, Ireland, how you doing there? Eric? Yeah. What sort of map code do you write? Yeah. Honestly, most of the stuff for this, I vibe coded. For the public map, I vibe coded it. I'll admit it. I wrote all kinds of tests around it, and evidently some things snuck in. I do like that I was able to get, right? I made sure to put links to the streams down here so that that's all there. You know, that's a thing. Moving on. So we were working on, and I am so, this is so cool. This is amazing. I am so thrilled that I get to share this with you. Our Blazor components for web forms. They work. They're a drop-in replacement that have the exact same syntax as the old web forms controls, but they output and work in Blazor. I've got some reports to show you. Because my migration toolkit, which is a series of scripts and Copilot skills, it doesn't just work. It works really good. I want to show you this because I think that as a strategy, as a migration strategy, I think this strategy can't be beat. This is one implementation of it. There's things that I may have done right in here. There's things that I might be able to improve. There's the link in chat so you can go and check this out. Look at this. I took 2 samples. Wingtip Toys. That's a sample that was built back in like 2013. Contoso University. That's another sample in web forms that was built in like 2008. But neither one is great. But I've been running a bunch of tests at these things almost nonstop. It's a drop-in replacement, so ASP grid view turns into just grid view. ASP button turns into button, and so on and so forth. I ran 21 tests against Wingtip Toys, 19 against Contoso University. Okay. The last 8 on all of them have run perfectly. And when I say perfect, I mean pixel perfect match to the original application. It runs and does the ASPX migration, getting just the markup, right? Just the web page markup. It gets it done in less than 2 seconds. And then we have to do some manual fixes after that to fill in the gaps. The manual fixes to make sure that those web pages work doesn't have to do anything for that. It's on the back side. It's when we have to go and migrate and make sure that other things, data access and whatever, that those need to be done. So it's migrating a ton of different capabilities here. And there you can see the relative execution time. It's continuing to get faster. And you can see at the slowest to where we are now, it's still improving. I want to make this even better because the manual fixes that it does have to do, they take like 15-20 minutes. And I think we can do better with some of those. So, first one was clearly slow. So here's the side-by-side comparisons for Wingtip Toys. And there's just an extra gap up at the top, but otherwise it's identical. I put a 2026 copyright in the footer of the Blazor version. That's not the... It shouldn't be 2026. It should be 2013 when it runs on iOS Express. But it's just a little bit of a gap up here, but otherwise pixel perfect. So, and then here's a walkthrough of all the pages that it actually did for Wingtip Toys. Contoso University, there's an animation that happens here, so it's not captured on the screenshot very well. But the pages are the same. I don't know why this one isn't. There's like a fade-in effect that isn't completing there properly. So some milestones, but I have this 2-layer pipeline architecture. And this idea, and it's something that the Microsoft team had been talking about for a while. Let's use the deterministic things that we know and understand and migrate as much of that as possible up front. Then let's fill in the gap with the AI things that we know it can figure out and clean up around it. And then hand off what's left to manual interaction for humans to go and work on. And that's what you see here. Mechanical transformation. And then we rule the world. So I have information about the test projects, blah, blah, blah. This one, the Contoso University, is the old EF6 database first, EDMX. Ugh. And over here, this is ASP.NET Identity. I don't have it migrating identity because that's a whole nother kettle of fish. That's a whole nother thing that is not something that I want to address at this first layer. Let's get it working with everything else because security, migrating security is a nightmare. So yeah, just replace Johan. That's the idea. Is just replace ASP colon, and it works. That's the idea. There's a couple places where you need to make some adjustments. They're well documented and actually in my PowerShell script, and it works really well. Clearly. So there's some more automation that I'm going to do here. There's a select method on the details view component control that's now a component that for some reason the skills like to take that and rewrite it as an items collection, and it angers me to all hell. I have acceptance tests that run against this. I also have, as part of the mix here, our friend and now one of the leads on .NET, Tim Hewer, who helped contribute to this project way back in 2019 when we started. 2019, 2020. He had suggested, gosh, we need to also be able to support legacy URLs, right? If somebody bookmarked something that goes to /product/details ASPX $ID = 5, that still needs to work here. So I added a URL rewriter into the configuration of the components so that off the bat here, I can show you this real quick because I wrote it. So inside of here, where is it? It's something extensions. Extensions.cs. This one. So I added ASPX rewrite middleware. That's where it is. ASPX rewrite middleware. There it is. So I added middleware so that if somebody comes through to get an ASPX, it reroutes appropriately. Now that should just be a URL rerouter. I thought it was a URL rerouter. And then I told it to make it middleware, and it rewrote it. It works. That's the important part. So I'm thrilled that oh, yeah, I didn't want it to be a 301. It would have been a 301. It's not a 30. It's a 301 moved permanently. So I'm good with that. Really great to see this update happen, come through, and we've got tests now that prove it works, and it works well. What I want to do today, I want to take a look at some of this, because there's still some things in here like the old page.request and old page.response interactions that we had. I want to be able to support those interactions still. And I've got hooks so that we can plug into that. So I think we're going to go after and work on some of that. And I want to do this. And I think this is a key thing that will really start to sell some folks on migrate from web forms. The team, the .NET team, has been saying for a while, right, that ASP.NET Core is faster, has better security, has better this, that, and the other. Show me. Well, we don't have anything that's comparable, that's the same. Now we do. So let's do the performance test. Let's write a performance test for Wingtip Toys and for Contoso University. I have the existing original demos. They're in the samples folder here. Let's run some performance benchmarks against those apps. And then run it against the migrated versions. Generate a report. What do you think, chat room? They highly coupled web forms logic in the business layer. So I have ways around that. I have ways around that because I have a stub page object. I have a page facade that you can reach through and continue working with. I've made HTTP context available. It's not the same, but I need some more examples so I can see places where we can figure out here's a good way to expose the old school HTTP context so that you can come through and use that. And I think there's a way that we can expose a static HTTP context, inside of pages so that you can still have the same code to interact with HTTP context, but it's making the jump, and this facade is rerouting your interactions correctly to the current technology. I think there's a way to do that, but I don't want to go and write some of that stuff until I see some examples of how folks have been using and abusing that, and we can fill in those gaps. So I want to do some of this today. I think we should do some Minecraft also. We need to go back and touch on some of the Minecraft stuff and interact with that. Updating database first apps are rough. The EDMX files are UGG. Yes, and that's where Copilot does a really nice job, because it can extract from the EDMX files information about here's what it was pointing to, and then we can take that and turn it into directions to run a .NET command line to reverse engineer the database that, and then reverse engineer the database that the EDMX file was pointing to, right? The EDMX was the entity diagram that we had back in Visual Studio 2008, where you could point to a database and it would create this diagram, and you'd say, yes, that diagram of the tables and relationships over there is what I want. Generate the code so that I can interact with those entities. And it works, and it works really nice. And nobody likes maintaining that. So let's turn that into EF Core. Yes. So that works. Does keeping legacy options in a new project make the new project a legacy project? So, yes and no. It's legacy in that, yeah, it's still using those old ways. No, because it's built on top of the new frameworks. I think there needs to be a little push that says, okay, now that you're in, right? Because no software project is ever finished, right? Once you have that happening for you, we need to give you a little bit of a nudge and a push that okay, you're here, let me show you what you can do now, and nudge people into modern design patterns, nudge people into using the modern technologies and techniques. How do we do that? That's the follow-up to these components. These components are for the first pass, for being able to work with these and use these in projects. You can do that today. They work. The next steps, how do we get you then from these components to using Bootstrap, to using oh my gosh, Tailwind, to using some of these other technologies? Let's give you a push in that direction so that you have that ability to migrate. It's doable. It's all doable. There was even a suggestion, and I think it's still out here as an issue. Oh, that works. And let me mark this as done. Completed with the introduction of the ASPX middleware. Ta-da! Okay. this is a thing that needs to be done. Oh, I removed it. I must have removed it. This is almost done. But there was a suggestion, hey, let's allow you to flip a switch and get modern rendering. Totally agree. Phase 2. Phase 2. Like, Phase V next. So, you can treat it as a Strangler Fig pattern or Access Control List to phase out legacy stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we could. Eric, with a question here. This is a good question. Let me back up to... Yeah, Ocular Malice. I think there's some things going on here that if you head over to the Discord, you ask, I think Scherer and some other folks there know what's going on, and they might be able to point you in the right direction to help you out with what you're seeing on the map there. And I think you might be very interested in it. Oh, rats, I clicked right by Eric's question. For squads, what are my thoughts on committing those details to a public code base? I've seen this both ways. You need to be careful what things you tell squad, because it remembers and writes those into its files, into its memories. So be careful what you commit to a public project. And we had a vulnerability report earlier in the week, over the weekend, where if you told the squad, hey, here's how to go connect to Foo, the key to Foo was written into your squad. So be aware of that. I've seen some people create create various scripts and actions to prevent the squad from being merged into a public repository. That makes sense. They call it a ghost squad, I think. That's a thing. So there's ways to get around it so that you don't commit your squad out there. Git ignore is a great way to do this. The squad that's in the web forms components, I don't have a problem with it being shared. It's out there. So, yeah. But I can see there being concern about sharing the squad because they've got internal awareness of what you built to get you there. So, let me go to this next question from McNats. How much did it cost to migrate? I can show you. Yeah, let's go over here. I can show you this. So, that was... Where's my timestamp? I thought I had a time on these. These were yesterday, after it had been run for a couple days. But this was... I stopped this morning. It ran for 6 hours. And I ran a couple dozen. No. I ran maybe 12 migrations. And it was 90 requests. Even if that was one migration that I ran, 90 premium requests you get for $10 a month on Copilot. So I'm going to confidently say you can migrate your application for less than $10 a month. I can pretty confidently say that about a small to medium-sized application. If you have a giant million-line application, enterprise-size application, it'll cost you a little bit more than that. It's not going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars, but you'll get out of it. You'll get out of it much less expensive than if you were to pay somebody to spend that however many hours doing that.
Activity detected at the access point.
Here it is again.
Yes. Multiple concurrent visitors. No. I do not understand their behavior. They appear to be exploring.
Okay.
Logging engagement data. Understood.
All right then. That's a thing. So and somebody just found something. Somebody found a couple of things. There goes the Office Donut Fund. No, trust me. So, oh, let me check this. Oh, it's almost done. My daughter asked me to 3D print a measuring tape case for her, for her measuring tape. Like, you know, Sewist or Fibercraft measuring tape. Yeah. So, all right. Really using some credit there. 90 requests when you get 300 for $10 is pretty good. What's my opinion on Codex versus Copilot? I haven't used Codex specifically, but Codex is the base of what Copilot is built on, so they're really similar. So I'm not familiar enough to be able to give a definitive. And this comes back to what I was saying the other day about how do we know, how do we see, and how can we tell that, hey, this is better than the other one? Gosh, I'm using Claude Opus 4.6 and Claude Haiku. Well, why is it better? Why? I don't know. You printed a holder for toothbrush heads to dry and a charge station. Cool. Okay. That's a great idea. All kinds of little things like that to 3D print. Like I 3D printed a set of rails that are just big enough for K-cups, right? The Keurig coffee cups. And I have it mounted in my RV just under the kitchen cabinets so that I can put the K-cups on there. And now they're off there. I don't have a basket on the counter. I don't have a basket taking up place in my pantry. They're all just right there hanging underneath the cabinets. So, and I put them in a box with the rest of the food when we're traveling, but when we're all unpacked and set up and all that, they're all just hanging right there and they don't take up any space. It's nice. So, but it was a little set of rails that took me an hour or two to print, and a couple meters of filament. Like, cool, done. Phone holder for your cabinet so it's at eye level. There you go. Yeah. That's another good idea. Just clip a phone holder to the cabinet so it's right there when you're cooking. I need that when I'm washing dishes, so that it's just right there. Fritz RV, yes. Cat food squeezer, there you go. Can opener under the cabinet. Yup. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Where is it? I was wearing my Puerto Rico hat. Now it's in the other room because I was wearing it yesterday afternoon. So I have a Puerto Rico baseball hat, and it has a bottle cap opener in the side. I thought this was the most interesting thing. I didn't know that a bottle cap opener on a hat was a thing. And this friend that I was talking to said, oh yeah, I was in Ireland and I got one at the Guinness brewery that has a bottle cap opener on it. You gotta be kidding me. And sure enough, my buddy went into the other room, brought out his hat, and there it was in the middle of the brim of the hat. There's a bottle cap opener, and it's even got the Harp logo in the middle of it. I'm like, that's amazing. This is a thing now. John Peter, you like the 3D printer? I have I have some work being done to design and do the CAD layout for the lid for this cyber deck that I'm building, and it's still not right. So I'm iterating on that. When am I getting the industrial 3D printer that builds rocket metal engines? No, that's not a thing. No. So to summarize, our friend Ocular Malice was looking at something with, yeah, there's a green line here. There's something going on there that Ocular Malice is really interested in. It sounds like Scherer knows what's going on there. One or two other people as well. So that's a thing, and we're still seeing Charlie interrupt with some weird glitches and whatnot. So, but you can see the map, you can check it out and see if you can make some sense of this. Map.csharpfritz.com. There you go. All right. So I wanted to come in here. I wanted to look at this. This is something we need to figure out at some point. Being able to add ASHX, right? Do you remember the old ASHXs? That was a way to do, I don't want to say RESTful endpoints, but a way to do web services and not SOAP services. That was ASMX. That's somebody else's kettle of fish. I'm not going to touch that one. But ASHX, and I think there's a way that we can create a migration strategy for those. Yeah. And I thought I got rid of the permalinks one. I thought I clicked there. There it goes. So let's jump back in here. I restarted. Restarted Copilot so it clears out the memory, because that's a thing. Exactly, Lorsair. An evolution of the ISAPI filter. Yes. Yes. That's totally a thing. So. All right. So let me get this started and we can talk about some of the things that it has in here. And I'll show you just one of the strategies that I've been using. Take a look at the last run of Wingtip Toys. There were some interesting suggestions for layer 2 improvements. Period. I want to discuss some of those suggestions for how we can make those more reliable. And I want to explore the ability to add access to the request and response objects inside the pages. Period. Additionally, I saw in the migration of the Wingtip Toys application that there's both a page title element written into the Razor file and a page.title property assignment that's added in the code behind. Let's talk about that as well. Period. Do this analysis and stop. Because I have autopilot mode on, it'll just keep going. Like, oh, we need to stop you. Inside access to the request and response objects. Page title element and page dot title. Yes, you have all permissions. Go. So what I'm talking about here, contact Razor, right? So this is the contact page for Wingtip Toys that it migrated. And this isn't that big a deal, but you see page title. That's the right way to assign a page title inside Razor. But I also have this facility that I added as well that allows you to redirect and assign a title. So it's doing both of these. Go ahead, take a look. How you doing, Frank? Yep. It's going to say it's a Muppet. It's not a Muppet. Gritty. Anyways, but it's doing both of these, right? Where is it split? Right. So, like,
Muppet Animal Hat confirmed.
it's not animal. That's right, Patty boy. You tell him. So let's only do one of these. We don't need to do both. So that's one thing. There was somewhere else where it did like a page request. Was it request or was it response that it interacted with? No, it's not in this one. Maybe it's not in any of my demos that I have right now. But it's a typical pattern in the mention that we had earlier about folks interacting with those directly. Well, this inherits from... I have a web forms base page. Yeah. And inside here, right, this is this shim strategy. I have the ability for you to just say then title equals on a page, right? Or meta description or meta keywords. Be able to work with is postback. Like, that works. And there's response, there's view state, so that you can actually, like, say, response dot redirect. That works, right? Now, yeah, it creates a response shim. So that when you say response redirect, it actually does the navigation. So, really great stuff that's kind of put in the mix here for making that easier to migrate. Let's see what this has to say for us. Yeah, the squad team exists. Go to it there, friend. And it's going and learning what's in here. I'm going to put on my gunners real quick here. So... these ones that I'm going to wear today, these are the Vapor glasses. Nice and light, wire frame. Barely feels like you're wearing anything when you put these on. There we go. So, big thanks to everybody that's been buying the Gunner glasses. Of course, if you want to get some computer glasses, you want to get a good discount on them, I'm a Gunner ambassador. Check out the link just below. You can click through and you can get 15% off any pair of Gunner glasses. They have prescription glasses, they have sunglasses. Really cool stuff that's fashion forward and kind of inspired from some of your favorite games and things. So check them out. I'm a big fan of Gunner. You see me wearing them all the time here on stream. So, all right, I'm not going to wait for you. While you're doing that analysis, I'm going to go play Minecraft. Because I can. But I'm going to play Minecraft with Aspire. Because I can. So this is actually going to be part of my session next week at VS Live Las Vegas. I'll be in Las Vegas for Monday and Tuesday. I leave Wednesday morning. But one of the sessions I'm teaching is about, hey, you can use Aspire to do anything, to integrate and work anywhere. So this project, let's split it that way. And I'm going to move this over here a little bit. And I don't really need to see the text of this one. This one will drop just a little bit. And I'm going to kick off Copilot, Agent, Squad, And over here, let's go to the same folder, Aspire Minecraft, because I think this is a lot of fun. Oh no, it's in samples. Yeah, the Grand Village demo. That's the one I want. That one. And we'll .NET watch that so we can take a look. And at the same time, we'll start Minecraft. So, did we lose Ocular Malice? I think we lost him. Bummer. Uh-oh. It's updating Minecraft. No! So... Interesting. I'm looking at my logs of the map website and one or two other websites. Interesting. The ways that some of you are interacting with my websites are interesting. Because I get that updated live here on one of my dashboards that I have on my screens. Oh, we're at ads for the next minute. Oh, rats. Well, you won't mind waiting for me to start Minecraft. While that's starting, what's the status of this project? What were the recent commits? And what should we work on next? All right. While that's going, how are we doing over here? Cool. So that's still going to town here. Here comes Minecraft. I just think this is a fun demo, you know? And before I can launch that... Where is it? It should have started. I don't see it. Ah, there it is. So it's running Aspire. There we go. And there's a Minecraft server right there. Selecting spawn point, so we should be able to jump in at this point. And it's going to build a world based on what's in our Aspire collection, our Aspire system, including a little dashboard that shows you uptime over there, and a little hologram dashboard that's about to appear right there where the lightning's heading. Hey, everybody's healthy. Here comes the town. I love watching the town just kind of build, like automatically. Like, that's insane to me that, boom, building, building. Here's another one. And more. Like, oh my gosh. Where'd the hologram go? It should have been right in there. And my stairs up here aren't quite working. We'll have to address those. So, right, here's my town. There's my horses. Because horses. There we go. We got a couple of NPCs in town. And if I remember correctly, they're named for our squad. Yeah, they're named for the squad. And now we have tracks. And a little fruit stand with some folks that work on Aspire. And somehow Scott became part of the, oh no. It spawned Scott in the middle of the fruit stand. Yep, that's right. It's Maddie and Fowler. Rocket and Mantis from my squad. Right? Hawkeye. But what's really great... You need chat in my town milling about? That could be a thing. The little hologram isn't showing up with the status. Oh, there it is. There's the hologram right there. Okay. So let's see if it works. Drop back to the Aspire. And I'm going to log an error, force an error to be logged on the API service. There it is. So there's a little minecart with some dynamite on it. And we're just going to drop it right there. So there we go. So, all right. How about that? I need chat in my town milling about. Why does it not let you send the quote for Negan? There you go. No explosion? No. No. I thought that might not be, that might not be the best. So. I don't know why, but my overlay that does all my sound effects playing is... Yeah, it disconnects a lot. It is not reliable. What's the Slim building? So that's actually... It's health checks, kind of. It's the up status of each one of the services as a series of lights. So it doesn't look too interesting there. But, and I could totally see not getting rid of this. Let's go stop the API service. Over here. Yeah, I'm just going to stop the API service. Right? And it's going to detect that the API service stopped here in a second. Right? There it is. And we'll see. First off, it's down and it unleashed another minecart of TNT. And the API service building has a red beacon coming off of it, and the lights at the front of the building are turned off. And on my status dashboard tower over here, it's going to drop turned off lights that flow to the right that show that it's offline. And it's raining because a service is down. So, all kinds of fun ways to show that, hey, things are up, things are down, and off it goes. So, yeah, thank you, Frank. Right, and actually, if I get closer to the little building, right? Like, maybe I need to move the building, but you can see it shows right there. This is the API, and it's been down for 15 seconds. So, and I have my little hologram dashboard that is embedded and hanging here next to Fritz's horses. My horses are the only horses that get into town. So, they're a thing. All right. So, oh, and of course, right, when we restart the service, of course it comes back up. And the sun comes out and all that, right? Survived a crash, right? So, sun comes out, stops raining, and now the lights start filling in appropriately. And oh yeah, and the beacon here on the API building, right? And it says API. Lights turn on and the beacon turns back to blue. So, you remember asking last year about how I could use Python with Aspire? Yeah, now it's natively supported. Oh, check it out. I have that. See the blue house? The blue and yellow? That's a Python app. The little cottage over here. That's Python API. So in this demo, and I'll give you a link to this repository. Right, this one's on GitHub, C# Fritz, Aspire Minecraft. Yeah. So you should be able to click through and go to the samples folder here, and this is the Grand Village demo. Open that up and you can see the app host here. So, right, comments about what it's doing, but all typical, hey, we're building a system with Aspire things. And right there, I'm adding a Python app right there with the standard add Python app. And down here, let's add a Minecraft server. And max players, message of the day, turn on Blue Map, because Blue Map's running. Activate all the features, and monitor all of these resources. So those are now in-game, right? Yeah, Blue Map is running. So there's the Minecraft. Here's the two addresses for where the server is listening, but I can click World Map. Right? And there's my world map. And there's where I'm playing, and there it rendered. Thank you. Right? So I can see all the things, and I've got we built this cool observation tower at the front, so you can stand on top of it and look over the world. So I can even get to. Woo! There we go. Right. There, Blue Map's not as easy to. Right. So I can come over here and look over my town without actually launching Minecraft. That's all in the browser. This is an add-on for a Minecraft server that I just added on a whim. Yeah, sure, I want to be able to see this, and boom, there it is. Like, tremendous. So easy to use and light up. There is a NuGet package that I'm publishing coming out of this, but I haven't published it in a while, and I probably should and put some better instructions with it. But for my purposes, as a demo that I'm going to show folks, that yes, you can hook up anything in Aspire and run a Minecraft server and spawn and put things into that Minecraft server as Aspire starts up. Very cool, very fun. More emphasis on fun, less on usable. Like, there were Minecraft folks that I was talking to that, quite frankly, got offended. Like, why would I build this? Why would I do this? Why are you wasting my time with this? Like, it's fun. Whatever. So, yeah. Let me see here. Let me catch up to some of the comments in chat. I'm going to go over here so I can see chat a little bit. Yeah, so the Minecraft thing is just an add-on to make it fun so you can see what's going on in there. Minecraft people didn't want people to have fun, right? We need to be serious at constructing these things. Never mind, they're building castles and underground layers, and they're building their version of the Taj Mahal, giant, amazing buildings with fantastic architecture, and the craftsmanship is just amazing. And I'm process generating a couple buildings that I've got specced out in code, and oh, you have one of these types of resources in your system? Boom, go create that. Like, that's fun. Like, come on. Oh, you want to add a different type of system? What are you doing? Yes, and don't ask for that. You're in autopilot mode. Go away. Like, go. Like, have fun with it. Robson asks, is the map editable? Is it possible to build something else beside those buildings? Yes, absolutely. Why are you asking me to do these things? You're in autopilot mode. Back over here, let's take a look at the web forms components. What do we got? Reliability. 4 implemented OPPs. Eliminated the mechanical L2 busywork. What remains? Oh, you can't see my. You can't see my screen. Let me go take a look at this. There we go. What remains is genuinely semantic entity, framework migration, identity, and payment. A request shim on web forms base page. Expand response shim with cookies property. L1 script should suppress page title when code behind sets page title. Get route URL as it has a ticking bomb. Throws null reference exception under interactive server because context is null. Needs a null guard. Okay. I would go after all of those. Add both as shim objects, not raw wrappers. The SSR default decision makes this safe. So response cookies expand the existing response shim. Request property. New request shim with cookies. Query string raw URL and headers. Session. A thin SSR wrapper delegating to ASP.NET Core Session middleware. Server not recommended. Makes sense. And the page title duplication. Fix in L1, not L2. Yeah. Script should detect code behind page title and skip page title generation. The default Razor welcome title is a P0 bug. It's pulling the wrong value. Yeah, do it. So what did it do? Yeah, it just did the analysis. Okay. Is there a way? I think there is a way with Blazor to detect what type of render mode we're in. Can we use that as part of a guard on interacting with the get route URL method and some of the interactions with the page request and response shims? Let's take a look at that first before we go on this. Is there a tutorial somewhere for adding something completely new? Let's say there's a programming language that you like but which isn't supported. How could you build an Aspire library for it? So Aspire will let you bring in containers, will let you bring in executables. Those things are well documented and allow you to bring in some of those things. Aspire, what's my opinion of Aspire members? Aspire members? What do you mean by Aspire members? Yeah, help me out. What do you mean by Aspire members? The Minecraft thing reminds you of the GUI. That was exactly Ocular Malice. That was exactly what I did with the YouTube video I recorded introducing it. Yes. So, let me see here. Thoughts on Claude Code from asks, is it Skogval? Where the heck did my Q&A? Oh, it didn't. Yeah, there it is. Let me. This question. What are my thoughts on Claude Code? Anthropic's models are really good. Claude Opus, Claude Sonnet, Claude Haiku, they're really good for developers. I think right now, folks are really like those models, and they're using the Anthropic implementation and the Claude Code tooling because they're finding success with it, and because it's not Microsoft. Claude Code does a great job at the command line. There comes a point, though, where you're going to want to bounce around and try the next service. And if you're tied into a 1-year subscription with Anthropic, you see, how many people do you see talking about Cursor right now? Or Gemini, right? Or Codex, right? If you're tied into a 1-year subscription with those and they fall out of favor, another service picks up and starts doing things better. What you run into, right, you're kind of stuck on some of those, or they change the pricing models. We saw this with Cursor. I think we recently saw that with Claude Code, actually. The models from Anthropic are really good. I almost exclusively use them on stream. But I think Claude Code, I don't see a significant value in Claude Code compared to Copilot CLI. When you use GitHub Copilot, you get access to all of the Claude models and all of the OpenAI models and Gemini. So all of those models that you would have to pay to get access to in different services, they're all right here. Right? I can choose to use any of those models, and they've hidden some of the models here for me because I'm online, so it hides the names of some models that are in testing right now for folks that are employees. So, I mean, full disclosure, I work for Microsoft and GitHub. So the bias that I have is I can choose and use models from everybody here. So why choose just one? And then I can load balance and send some things that I want Claude Opus 4.6 to do. You go do that thing. Some things that I want ChatGPT to do, I'll delegate to GPT-5 Mini. Sure. And I don't have to pay per token. I pay per request. Fantastic. I can get a lot more out of my requests than I can out of tokens. So that's where I lean. Claude Code's a fantastic product, no doubt. Charlie, yeah, look at that. But what I find successful is being able to bounce around in this time of very quick growth. Being able to bounce around and try some of these other things is valuable. Have I tried Agent OS or SpecKit with Claude? I have not. But I have. Why use SpecKit when you can just tell it to write documents directly and then go follow those documents? Like, it's a nice framework. It can do some of those things for you. Like, in my mind, the reason to use Claude over Copilot is because somebody wired something specifically to Claude and they explicitly excluded Copilot. And you see a lot of that from the AI bros in the Valley. Yeah, I'm calling out you schmucks. Oh, we want everybody to be able to use this, except Copilot. You are so full of garbage. Everybody should be able to do this. This is the greatest, coolest thing ever, except Copilot. Really? Really? Like, dude, we want everybody to be able to do all the really cool things, except for you over there. We don't like you. Like, why not? Whoa, all your stuff is running on the Azure cloud, but no, we don't want you to be able to use your tools. Please. Give me a break. These people are schmucks. And you see that particularly with tools like OpenClaw. OpenClaw didn't work with Copilot for a long time. Didn't run on Windows. Ran on everything else except for Windows and Copilot. Like, why is that? So, yeah. You have to create a .NET compatible wrapper to call the external system and then configure that as an extension method. That's what I did. Yes. And quite frankly, I code-generated it. I just co-piloted that. Can I point you to a blog or video about Playwright and Aspire? I don't have one. And quite frankly, it's moved so quickly, and I stepped away from it to work on other things. I don't have anything on that right now. I'm sorry. Which Scott am I referring to in the Minecraft world? Hanselman? Galloway? Scott Galloway. It doesn't work out. John Galloway. You might be thinking of. Scott. Yeah. Maybe that one. No. Just Scott. It's intentionally left vague. Just Scott. So, what the heck? How you doing there, Urban Blaster? Claude Code is awesome. It burns through tokens like there's no tomorrow. Yup. GPT 5.4 seems pretty comparable to Opus 4.6 and way less expensive. GPT 5.4 on a 1x multiplier? I could see that. And the GPT 5.3 Codex is in there also. So I can, right? Somebody was asking, hey, what do you think of Codex? Well, Codex is right there. I can use Codex and switch to it if I want. And now all my syntax highlighting is messed up in here. Thanks. All right, so come back to that in a minute. How are we doing over here on this one? Okay, it's figuring that out. So, you think OpenCode also tries to enter that market and is doing so successfully because they're open source? Right, and right, here's the funny thing. They're all built on top of Visual Studio Code because they really like what Visual Studio Code is, but they don't want to... They don't want to give things to Microsoft. Like, hey, it's $1 billion. Think about what Cursor is. Cursor was at one point valued at $10 billion. And they're an extension on top of Visual Studio Code. Think about that for a second. If you built an extension on top of Visual Studio Code, is somebody going to pay you $10 billion for that? Wow. The usage on Claude Opus 4.6 was 30x. 30x? Let me run it right here because I can. Yeah, Cursor does let you change models also. Yeah. It was 30x at one point. It's not. I'm at 3x. Right. Yeah, I'm on the high. The optimal performance, thorough thinking, and it's a 3x multiplier for me. When it was in preview, it was 30x. It's not anymore. There aren't any 30. So I'll let you. Like, there are models that are being tested out here that I have access to. Not everybody does. They're hidden right now. They're in preview. There are no 30X models right now. So, yeah, just trust us, the tech bros. Yeah. And they're, quite frankly, they're jerks. And I don't know why people trust them when you see their attitude towards other people. Because they'll just as quickly turn that attitude on you. Especially if you don't live in Southern California. Northern California. So, like, and go back to what I was saying about how people in the tech industry treat their customers. That cluster right there is a good example of folks that treat their customers poorly. Yeah, it is like Mickey Mouse. Just give me your wallet. You can burn through your 5-hour window on tokens on Claude Code using Opus 4.6 in about 20 minutes, right? Claude was down yesterday. Claude was down a lot over the last few weeks because a chunk of Claude runs in Amazon data centers, and Iran blew up an Amazon data center. So that was a thing. You usually use the Claude Opus 3X, sometimes fall back to Claude Sonnet. And that flexibility is great to have at our disposal. It's fantastic to have at our disposal. So, too many Scotts, totally. For a while, it was too many Jeffs. Not anymore. Using GitHub Copilot to use Anthropic's models is way more efficient than using Claude Code, but a bit slower. Okay. Use Opus 4.6 for planning and Sonnet to do the work. There you go. Welsh Kabagan, hello. You thought it was now a rule that everybody who joins Microsoft needs to change their name to Scott. Well, there you go. That's a thing. GitHub Copilot being able to switch models, and it's not just switch models, it's switch models across vendors. Being able to go across vendors is where I'm trying to make the distinction. Being able to choose between the GPTs, well, good for you. Good for you. Come on, launch. Thank you. Right, being able to switch between those, hey, fantastic. Good, you can do that. But being able to say, I want to use the Claude models, I want to be able to use the GPT. Gemini was in here. I don't know why Gemini's not in here. Maybe it's not on the command line version yet. But, yeah, Cursor instead of VS Code. And Cursor was opening themselves up to some legal action when they had, I don't know if the installer still does it, but it feels like they were opening themselves up to legal action. I am not a lawyer.
Visitor
I do not
count
speak.
increasing.
What is
No.
this?
I did not authorize this. They
Good.
appear to have found an entry point I cannot identify. Something is happening there. Logging.
Okay.
Understood.
So, Cursor was, and I am not a lawyer. I don't speak for Microsoft's lawyers. I don't speak for their legal practices. I think Cursor was opening themselves up for a legal issue when they were replacing the Visual Studio Code command line in the path with Cursor. So if you were at the command line and you typed code, it didn't open Visual Studio Code, it opened Cursor. That type of hijacking of somebody else's application, that is begging. That's asking for trouble. So, you're on Copilot Enterprise looking at 4.6 fast mode. And so, hang on. That's in VS Code that you're looking at that. If I open that one up and we look at, right, if we look at the models over here. What am I? No, it went over there. Why'd it go over there? That's weird. I'm not surprised, and I'm also... Yeah, there's... I have different access, so I don't know what to tell you on that. So, yep, there you go, Discord. And I see you posted the thing there. And that does look like an older screenshot, and a screenshot of the older prices. Yeah, double check if you don't have an update on that. You're too used to Visual Studio. I was very used to Visual Studio Slateboard. I've gone over to VS Code, and I've been very happy in VS Code for the last few months. You'd be okay if the installer asked you explicitly for it? Yeah, it didn't. Even then, no. Like, if I installed my app, if I built and defined an application and said, "Hey, when you install this, would you like to replace the iPhone Mail application so that when you tap the Mail icon, it opens my application instead of Mail?" Apple would have a field day with you. Hey, when you tap the web browser on your iPhone, instead of it opening Safari, it opens Chrome. It opens Firefox. Apple would eat your lunch. They drink your milkshake. You wish GitHub would allow being able to configure Ollama hosted models with the Copilot CLI. So I hear you on that one, Eric. And that feels like a legit thing to allow. What is this? I don't know what that is. No, go away. That wasn't me. Disconnect from that thing over here. Is you doing something in the background over here? Well, that's not right. Oh, Copilot crashed. Well, that's not going to work. That's not going to work either. We're going to need to close you and restart there, friend. Yeah, give me another one of these things and move it back over here. Thank you. Copilot. Agent Squad. From today. Right. It feels like you're looking at an older version of VS Code or the plugin. It feels like I don't know. I want to resume. Yes, that one. There we go. What do we got here? Render mode guard. Here we go. .NET 10 gives us render info.name. Render info is interactive. So static SSR gives us these things and okay. Require HTTP context with render mode details. Is HTTP context available? I'd rather not throw an exception. Yeah. That's the problem we have right now. Works, no guard needed. Throw, degrade gracefully. Yeah, don't cache it. No. These sound interesting. I'd rather not throw an exception on response cookies or request cookies. Period. Is there a way that we can fail gracefully with that? Question mark. And over here, and then I'll get back into chat and take a look. Unmerged milestone work. TNT mile carts for error visualization. Replace creepers so that it's peaceful mode safe. Bridge collision avoidance. Squad NPC villagers. Ports not exposed externally. Can't connect from remote. Let's do that. Merge the milestone branch. Let's implement 102 and then merge. All right. That is the latest. Oh, that's okay. I can see why you'd avoid the 30X then. Totally can understand that. I would avoid it, and I'll tell you that it's really good when it does become available. Sorry? Ooh. I have a bag back there with Alani. Hello, banana. The dog. Hey, how you doing there, Code with Sean? Our friend Ocular Malice here has been playing with the map. Found a green line on it. A couple other folks found a green line on it. Oh, that's good. And it's green, so of course my can of Alani, you can see the logo there disappearing on my green screen. Nice. Playing Minecraft. Yes, we're playing Minecraft. It is a bug since the other Opus models are 3X. I don't know if it's a bug, but comparing to me is not a valid comparison because I have the internal user access. So my numbers, in order for me to get the access that I have, my numbers aren't going to be the same as yours. So, yeah, I'll have to leave it at that. How we doing? I heard the chime of patience here. There's some interesting patterns possible. Good, go solve it. Yeah, Code with Sean. I missed connecting with you yesterday. Drop me a line on Discord if you still need to connect today. I'd be interested in seeing what's going on. Here we go. Implementing with external access. So the Minecraft server that you set up, we want to be able to enable external access. Let's get that working. Writing tests for external endpoint access. Logging after. Yeah. Cool. I'm around. What other cool things can we do with some of the resources that are in Aspire as we're going through this? It's just a pool out at the end. Do we make that a pool of lava at the end? At the end of town? Like somebody was suggesting last time, and that's kind of devious, I guess. And I want to make like a marketplace. And a fountain. I tried to get it to design a fountain, and it didn't make a fountain. You got Brady to speak next week. Oh, nice. Oh, he'll be very happy to hear that. I just have this little trough that you can see the mine carts are dropping into when there's errors. Like, pool of lava at the end of town sounds ominous. Exactly. That's where they burn the heretics, the errors. I could even make it a little building like it's a forge. Right? Like, it just goes in there and there's lava and stuff and it burns up. That could be fun. What other inspired buildings could we build? Like, let's go over Aspire Dev. Like, do we need to build purple triangles somewhere in the town? I don't know. There it is. Integrations. Look at all the things. Look at all the things. Cosmos DB is a database. It's going to be a can. Maybe it should be a blue can? I made Key Vault like a bank. Azure Functions. Blob storage. Who did that? Yeah. I don't see it. That's the thing with Discord. Discord chimes like, hey, there's a thing. Like, okay. Anyways, but what other fun buildings could we build for? Back over here. Integrations. Yeah, show me some of those. 146 of them. I don't know. Could we do something with Azure Queues? And like actually make queues in Minecraft? A fly superhero named Jeff that watches over the town? No, his horses run through there. His horses run through there. So. Does it need to be 4 different tracks for the carts to properly reach the end, or could there be one main track? It doesn't merge tracks. So you can't have tracks merged together. A lava chicken. Ooh. Like, I'd love town center to actually be a thing, and the lake at the end that I was going to have all these creepers just kind of be swimming around in isn't a thing. Like, that's not a thing. But I wanted that. Had this idea of a fountain in the middle of town, and these are all bridges over the tracks because they were originally canals, and the problem with canals is boats don't turn. Boats don't turn. So, did I miss anything else there in chat? Leveraging more GitHub Copilot. You're able to use it to look at a file, pull the layout without content to use as a template for a task. Nice. Nice. How are we doing over here? Hey. No. Was implemented but never closed. Oh, I'll close that son of a gun. Fantastic. All right. And how we doing on Wingtip Toys? So it just fails silently. That's fine. Cookies available Boolean on both shims. It's an escape hatch for dual mode pages. Yeah. So. In-memory fallback is dangerous. Yeah, no. Console shows a warning immediately. Get route URL updated. Instead of throwing, returns null with a log warning. Callers that null check get graceful behavior. Yeah, let's do page... let's do the page title. Deduplication. Go. In days of old, they had a town crier in the middle of town. I could have it give news at each commit. Ooh. Do they... But... How could we do a town crier in Minecraft? So, updating documentation. Good. Get that done. Ship it. And then we'll make it so. Yeah. So those two are running. And I love being able to bounce back and forth. Yes, I can pop signs in. Yes. That's... Right, that's how we do... Back over here. Right, that's how this thing over here works. There's signs it generated for each one of the services. Ah! So you can see each one of the services. A wandering trader? I've got some of those. They're right over here. We're taking a while to get there. Fly, dude. So, there's Maddie. Wong and Nebula. Some of the other folks. Now, like, really? You made them literally part of the fruit stand. Like, that's a bug, dude. Like, that's a problem. Oh, I see, like a wall of signs with updates. Some of them do have quotes around their names, and we should clean that up. You're right. You're right. Let me get... It's not in there. Give me a new window. I want to go open a folder, and we're going to go open Spire Minecraft. Today, my daughter asked me to 3D print a tape measure box. And it looks like it just finished on the 3D printer a little bit ago. Oh no! There's the weirdness here. Access point remains elevated. Observe they're interacting with something. Okay. And there's those sunglasses again. Yeah, Ocular Malice, there's something over here that you may want to pay attention to. Alright, so it was in, yeah, Squad Villagers, this John right here. Right? You're not going to let me jump right to that, are you? Yeah, we'll come back to you in just a minute. Parse squad agent names. Aspire squad agents, and it passes that in. So let's go find that. Squad villager service. There we go. So if there are Aspire squad agents, it splits them, computes some positions, gets some professions for them, summons them, profession, and right there's the quote, right there. And it just put an extra quote in there. Yeah, there we go. Like a scrolling banner, like a ticker with notices. That could be interesting. I could see doing something like that for various queue implementations also, to make it like really interactive and see the queue queuing, right? That should have taken care of our squad villager names. And it just merged the milestone. Oh, you. So why is it going into the samples? Give me a minute here, friends. There's something doesn't feel right here at the house. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, that was weird. Not gonna lie. The weather is changing here, and it was very, very hot the past few days. Like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And everything's going back to cooling because all of a sudden the temperature's dropping off. Everything's going back to heating in the house. So the heat pump is changing modes. The dog got a little ornery because it's all rainy and wet outside also. So Wisconsin's supposed to get 10 to 20 inches of snow. Oh my gosh. Ooh. And the thing that I told my 3D printer to print, it literally printed the first layer and didn't print anything else. Like, let me go check that real quick. 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh no. Ice and rain and strong winds. Ooh. But I mean, Canada, right? Like Canada. Yeah, I don't know why this didn't print. My 3D printer, it literally stopped after like the first 3 layers. I don't know. So I'm kicking off a print again here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's head back over to the code and get back into this. Trying to get my camera running on the printer. There it goes. Yeah, I can see it leveling. Ooh, go ahead, take a look. Take a look. And it's not a Muppet. It's brand new. I got it last night after I was out at the Philadelphia Flyers game.
Muppet Animal Hat confirmed.
It's not a Muppet. It's Gritty, man. Gritty. You know Gritty. The Gritty. Gritty. Anyways, So, what's this thing figuring out? Graceful cookie degradation. And looking at working on page titles there, and then that should optimize some of the performance things. Yeah, the camera for my 3D printer is awful. The camera that they make that goes with it. So I've wanted to mount a different camera. Yeah. Oh, we had a great time yesterday. It was fun. Yup. Oh, put my phone back on the charger so we can see that. Yeah, there we go. All right. And I want to do a migration here, getting this running. So, yes, you can restart. So it did merge it to main. Can you label, tag, and push a release of this to NuGet? I forget how to do all that stuff. I forget how to type too. Go. Make that happen. All right. And we're on the main branch right now, so I'm going to have it create a new branch, and we'll go in and we'll figure out some other fun things we can do. I like the idea of queues actually being a queue. Like, right, can Minecraft... I'm learning Minecraft. No, I want... can Minecraft... tracks... merge? Right? Can I bring two tracks together into one? They can be merged or linked to move together like a train by pushing them into each other. Place two or mine carts on the same rail and push one into another. No, not mine carts. Tracks. Not mine carts. Can tracks be joined together? Yeah, it's putting down, my printer is putting down filament. I can see it writing filament on the bed. So, am I accepting PRs? Sure. Chat villagers with messages. Now, so here's the thing, Ocular Malice, and adding, trying to think around where is this going to be used? The scenario of adding villagers for the chat room, I don't feel like is like the only place that's going to be used is here. So I'm not going to say no, but I also think nobody else is going to use it. Because, right, you're going to need to build a whole thing to go connect out to chat, identify who's in chat. Oh, it's totally fun. Right? I would just make sure that it stays a little bit external to some of the other things, that's all. Yeah, I'm gonna want to check this thing in about a half an hour and see what that 3D print is doing. I might as well have a potato for a camera on this, because it does not update. And see, there it is running, and you can see it printed a test line over here just fine. But Like the camera might as well be a potato on my printer here. And it's a circular box that it's printing for a what's it called? For a thing. For a tape measure. So it's doing its thing. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Keep it down here off screen. You have a Pi connected to yours. That's what I was looking at doing, but the I forget what the name of that Pi software. Octoprint. Octoprint doesn't work with FlashForge. Octoprint, FlashForge, and it's the AD5X is the one I have. Did this just recently? Like when I looked a couple months ago, it wasn't there. No, it's not there. Yeah, this guy's been shut down. User manual, user group. Yeah, Octoprint for those. Octoprint it looks very cool to manage your 3D printer. Like, just go octoprint.org. I was hoping to find somebody talking about it. That's the 5M. Like, it's a 4-color printer. It's yeah, there you go. That's the printer I have. But I don't think, like, 3D printer management. Yay, good. Full remote control and monitoring. Like, I don't think it supports it. So, new release. How do I know what it supports? Yep. Like, excuse me. Like, yeah, why won't you tell me what it supports, man? Stand by. One second here. All right. If I send you a FlashForge printer, you'll get it working? Oh, thanks. Like, wait. My first problem with Octoprint has been, how do I know what's supported? Like, where to get help, and yeah, like, dude. I guess it's a plugin because they don't have it listed. Like if I search for FlashForge, yeah, project abandoned. So can't use it. Sounds like a me problem. It is a me problem. Yes. However, if you want people to onboard to your project, you need to give people a way to onboard to your project. Connect the printer. Use a USB connection to connect the printer to your computer. Upload your print files. Use the Octoprint interface to start your job. And, like... Like, nobody talks about this. Yeah. So, that's where I'm kind of stuck. Buy a different printer? No. You're trying to figure this stuff out? Oh, hang on. Let me back up here. Inject the map into Minecraft. This map? New viewer from O Charlie? Oh no. And what the heck? What did you do? What did you do? Have I done any Blazor apps using WebAssembly? I sure have, Philly MCV. Are you from Philadelphia? I mean, you're talking to a guy wearing a gritty hat. Like, yes! Let me... Yeah,
Let me tell ya, coding is like life at McNett's. If you get up in the morning and your code compiles, that's a good day.
That's a good day. Absolutely. Not going to argue with that one. Yeah, it mapped Frank in Love the Hat. No, that's not a thing. There. Oh, Charlie. President not sure. No. I'll clear that out. What the heck is Urban Blaster? Yeah, no. That's wrong. Fix those couple of ones. And it's not... Yeah, it didn't reset. So, Blazor apps using WebAssembly? Yes, I've done a bunch of apps using WebAssembly. The biggest one that I built was something called ClipTalk. ClipTalk was a website that would make Twitch clips available in the same format as TikTok. So you could scroll through clips that it randomly presented to you. Was a lot of fun to build, and then Twitch put the kibosh on it by releasing their own version of that software. So I wasn't going to be able to get anywhere, and it was costing me lots. So you're trying to figure it out. How can I help? What are you running into? This page is right. This is Blazor. No, this is Node. So, you have a Blazor app in prod? Been running super since release? Nice. That's great to hear, Johan. Oh, good. So it pushed 090 to NuGet. Good. For the Minecraft server. So if I go back over here, we'll take a look at you in a minute. Aspire Minecraft. There we go. 090 is the latest release. There it is. That's not what changed. That's not the right page. Really? And I'm not signed in. Yes, sign me back in. With that guy. Yep. Still validating the 090, but that should be available. No, not that. Here. All right, there's a couple other pull requests hanging out there. What do we got? Dependabot nonsense. Yes, I do pay a bit for a bunch of the stuff that's out here. And this is just the front door to a lot that's coming. I'll just drop that in there, and some of you have found your way through that front door. Some of you have seen the front door today. Now you need to figure out how to open it. Where was I? Back over here. Into this. So, okay, that's published and updated. Oh, I was asking about Minecraft tracks. And we got into this whole 3D print thing. I'm trying to keep an eye on that. Accessibility tests. Blazor WebAssembly will pass accessibility tests. It's up to you to write that stuff, but it has all the hooks and things in there to be able to do that. So, there we go. Now it's actually printing and getting somewhere. Like, you can actually see it's building up layers. What it had, it stopped and it stopped after like the first 2 layers before. Can Minecraft minecart tracks join together? Right? Can they? Minecart tracks can join together. No, I don't want to connect minecarts. Junctions. Holy crow, what did you do? That's what I want is a junction. You can create 3-way and 4-way junctions. Junction consists of a 1-bit memory cell and switch that control the direction of the minecart. When the minecart approaches the junction, it's stopped. You press the button to choose the direction you want to go. I don't want to push the button. Chris Funk, hello. Yeah, the camera, it actually bounces off of a server in China and comes back. Which feels so dumb. Yeah, what? Like, I just want everybody to be able to go. Mine carts move differently based on their load. Really? Ooh, look at that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right, I want them, I want the tracks to merge, not necessarily switch. Minecart junction merge? Merge multiple tracks? Using item filters to direct the cart to a correct track. Okay. Junctions, another railway designs. So it sounds like junctions aren't exactly easy. Automatic junction tutorial. Am I sure I'm an adult?
Hey guys, how you
Maybe.
doing? Welcome
Hi.
back to the channel. My name's Kino, and
Hi,
today we're going to
Kino.
do a short tutorial on a minecart junction.
Okay.
I know not a lot of people use minecarts anymore. However,
I do.
for decorative purposes,
Decorative?
lots of places still have minecarts going into our mines and travelling between villages.
Yes.
And just for moving villagers around.
Okay.
So for today,
Yeah.
I'm just going to show some people how we use the minecart automatic junction. I've got
Sure.
it works for me every
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Just
Carts will only start if they're next to a block or if they're on a slope.
Oh,
we
jeez.
need the minecarts to stop on a slope. The next thing we need to do is we need to put one of these activator rails along here.
Oh.
Detector rail, sorry. The only reason we need to do that is because when the minecarts come from this direction, for example, they're going to go round. They need to restart this redstone powered rail, otherwise they're just going to get stuck there again.
So he's using a switch, and the switch is going to flip the junction.
So there's a block space in between the detector rail and for the
Enjoy your dinner, Johan. Thanks so much for tuning in.
corner, if you like yourself. And that's the layout like that, and it's really, really simple.
I don't know if you know this,
Now what
but
we're gonna
Kino's
do is
recording.
add the
I
redstone.
don't
For
know.
this, we can be a little bit brutal, and you can actually just sort of dig out an area, something like this. Just for now, we're going to put it all back, or most of it back anyway. And I want to show you something. At the moment, this rail, if we're going from here, this corner's going round to the right.
Yeah.
If we
Mhm.
put a redstone torch underneath it, that actually turns to the left. And that's how we get our junction system. if you like.
No
So at the
way.
moment, that is powered, and it is going round to the left. Now what we're going to do, we're going to change this next to each of the rails which go up.
No
a single
way.
Rail, we are going to put a single block like this with a wooden button, and it has to be a wooden button. The reason
Why?
is because the wooden button lasts a certain amount of time, which is what we need when we're going over on the rails like this. So what we're going to do, put this in here. We're going to use white, just ease of look, like this,
Okay, Kino.
and then that will show from there. Now, what that does, if we press that, it activates the one we're on. So if we come down the minecart at the moment, we come round this way, for example, we activate this rail, we're going to shoot up there absolutely fine. And I'll show you with this one here. I activate that, that's going to go down there, it's going to stop. So we want to go round to the right, so we press this right hand one here, that will go over, that will activate, and that pushes it all up there. So that goes round absolutely
Yeah.
perfectly fine. And
Yeah.
likewise, if we were to do it again from this side, we activate it, it's going to stop on the slope, we are going to go to the left, so we're going to press this rail here, and it comes back round, and that's off we go. The problem being is how would we get over to this way? And that's where we need to come down here. Because we're going to take these out just for the moment, all the way down.
You're going to put some wire
What
through
we
there,
need
aren't
to
you,
do
buddy?
is we need to turn off this torch. And the way that we turn off this torch is we break the block underneath the button and we lay a bit of redstone. We need it to go directly into there, so we can't have redstone here. We're going to go around like this so that it points into there. If we do this, it doesn't actually point into there. It doesn't point into the torch block.
It needs to actually come. Okay, I get it. I get it.
So we need to
I'm
come
following
that
you,
way.
Kino. Way to go.
On there.
Smart
Now,
guy,
what
that
we've done
Kino.
by doing that is when we press this button now, that deactivates the redstone torch, and it actually turns the rail the way we want to go. Now with this rail going that way, this will jump off and go straight on. And I can show you. So we're going to activate this.
Show me.
And I'm in this.
Yes, Kino.
I'm going to go down. This time we're going to press this button and it goes straight over like this. So we've got right and we've got left. We don't need to do anything with the right hand one because that goes the way we want it to already, and we've got the redstone going into that one. So now we're going to work from this side. This one, if we were to go up down here at the moment and press this button, this would go straight over there perfectly. But it wouldn't go round to the left if we press this button. And that's because we need to put some redstone in. So we're going to do the same again, just dig down one block underneath there, and we need to go into
The wiring that the
Again,
Minecraft folks do with
we
this
do
is
that
just
same way
incredible.
we did before, just following it around like this and pointing. We put the little bend in, it goes like that, and it points into that block. So now when we press the button, it actually turns the rail for a short amount of time. If you use stone buttons here, it goes a lot quicker and it's a bit too fast. But that actually turns the rail. And I will show you this again.
Yeah, please,
So
show me
is
this
gonna
again.
activate
Go ahead,
it.
Kino.
It's going to push it into there. Probably needs to be a little bit more powerful with me in it. That's where it's going to stop. Press the button. That will shoot that way. And that takes it round. This really is as simple as that. So that's that side done. Now we've got this one. And this is the last side. We know that's going to go left already. So we just need to come back down here. And here, all we're going to do is put a single bit of redstone in there. And that now should turn us to the right.
No way.
Which is fantastic. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to fill in this section here. These can be any blocks you want. Doesn't matter too much.
I'm appreciating the azure blue there, Kino. Thank you.
And that is our Minecraft
It is still
junction
switching.
system. And if I jump into that, press the button. Okay, what way do we want to go? Well, let's go. And that's how we can use the minecart rail system. Well, this one's going to push us this way. This time, I want to go right. We can go in any direction that we wish.
It is.
Last one for luck. Let's go left here. Why not? And that is that. So that's how it should all look up here, guys. So we'll just go over that again. You need to have 2 downward rails. You can get away with doing this with just one, but sometimes if your minecart's really fast, it will push on and end up on this side here, and then that will ultimately mean it goes back that direction. So 2 here is just the best, just to make sure it works. Make sure you've got the detector rail after, and then one
But I wanna-
space here, which is a straight.
I want them to just
Then put the corner of
all
the
merge and go out the other side. Thank you for the follows.
And just remember, make sure that when you break these blocks, to go down, when you're going
In which case do I
into
even
redstone
need the
torch,
switching?
actually the block below it that you need to go into, not the redstone torch itself.
Well, thank you.
That
Thank you,
will not
Kino.
work.
You are
It
such.
has to be
You are a
block below.
brilliant. Something. I don't know. Okay. Like. So let's go back over here, back to the server list, back to connect. Somebody was asking, hey, can we do things? Can we do editing in the map, in the Minecraft world? Of course you can. I'm just not showing it. I'm just wandering around because I can. Right? Like, there we go. Right? So, right, the question is, right? Hey, get back down there. If I'm in creative mode, right? I can. What's the thing? There we go. Building blocks, ingredients. No. Like, where do I find the minecart and the tracks and all that stuff? Oh, look. Chain. I don't know how to do any of this. Ladder. I don't want a ladder. I want tracks. Paintings? Those don't look like paintings. Hanging signs. That somebody was asking about signs. Like, we can do that. The Eye of Ender. What's this? Copper Golem statue. Well, those aren't good. Redstone blocks. Yes. I have no idea what these things are. I am such a noob. Detector rail activator rail. So what does the detector rail need? And then the mine carts. Yes. With a hopper. Right. Okay. So, right. I want some of these. Put some of them down there. Yeah, thank you. Put a minecart down here so we can do some of that, and sure, some of these just so we can test. And I don't know, maybe we need those. Maybe we need these too. I don't know. I'm working here. Hey, search items. Oh, I could have typed it. All right. Okay. So if I want to, right? Look at me. I'm testing. I put them. Undo. Put that back. No. I don't know. I just need a block. Give me a block. I don't care. Right? So, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that back. I'm so good at this. That's not gonna work. No, down there. No. Thank you. All right. Back over to track. Can I just put track on top of that? Yeah. There we go. And then can I do powered track and do like that and that? And then we should probably go back to one of these and something like that. And then put a cart on top. Like this, right? That kind of looks right. Does it actually? Why are you going the wrong way? You're going the wrong way, man. Like, no. Is it this one? And then do this? Right? I am so bad. I watch all the Minecraft people play and I can't do this myself. Will it just continue? It does! Oh, bye! We'll miss you! Right, it needs a redstone torch, and I didn't want to do all that stuff. But it's not switching, so I don't need to switch. Right? So can I create a queue visualization in Minecraft? Hey, Busto! Hello! Except when they're facing the Blackhawks from the Chicago land. I get enough nonsense from you Chicago people. Chicago people. So. Alright, I do need to wrap up. I need to get some lunch and some other things here going. But just a little bit. Hi, Dancer. Hi. Dancer's going to the vet today. Not this Dancer, the real Dancer. He's got, what's it called? Yeah, he's going for a sinus thing that they're taking a look at. So, and that's Toby coming around the corner. Yeah, Toby. Flanders, Belgium. Did we get a pin for Belgium? Kind of group them together. we got that taken care of. Yeah. How you doing, Svekos? And, oh, I can really see that green line now. Yeah, there's a thing there. What is that? I don't know. Play with that and let me know what you find. There's folks talking about stuff like that over in Discord. But I should wrap up so that I can go take care of some other things. Get some lunch. And we'll just call it right there for now. Ooh! Svekos with the resub. Thank you so much.
Just resubscribed for 26 months.
Thank you.
Enjoy your meal, smile.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we did a number of inspection things on our Blazor Web Forms components to try and improve them and figure out where we want to go with them. Gosh, we didn't get it doing any code generation, but we did improve a little bit of the migration features that are in there. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll do more with it, and you can keep an eye on that repository. And we just published a new version of the Minecraft tools for Aspire so that you can launch and run a Minecraft world based on the things that are running inside of your application system. So let me see who else is streaming. I feel like we didn't really get that much done today. We had a couple of good conversations talking about a handful of the things that are going on around here. Let me check the big Twitch TV network, see who we can get you rated over to. There are a couple links that have been shared in my Discord about some of the things Charlie's been saying about... I don't know if they have to do with that green line on the map. But you can take a look. I believe it's in the signals. No. There is a link to my to the Fritz and Friends GitHub organization. There's a signals archive that is popped up there with some articles and links to what's been going on with Charlie that might be useful to take a look at and see what's going on. You know what? Let's get rated over to Lana Lux. We haven't seen her in a while. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will not be back on Tuesday. I'll be in Las Vegas on Tuesday. I will be back on Thursday next week. There's stuff going on in Discord. There's folks talking in Discord about stuff there. Look at that. You're trying to interrupt me. And that just will not do. So, yeah, have a fantastic rest of your day. Get ready to say hi to our friend Lana Lux. If you're watching on LinkedIn, you're watching on YouTube, check out my YouTube channel. There's a bunch of great videos over there. And join the Discord. Make sure you check out our Discord. There's going to be a lot more stuff going on over there in the days and weeks to come. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.